In 1900, we can see hints of the change and growth to come as the city would change from farming village to suburban community. At the turn of the century, both farmers and government employees called Gaithersburg home. In 1900, just as today, Gaithersburg residents worked for the federal government, commuting to work by train. Gaithersburg was a mobile society. This was largely due to its position as a thriving agricultural trade center. It was recognized as a primary shipping and receiving point for the surrounding agricultural areas. Thus, the town became self-sufficient. It established its own industrial sector. Mills and plants were built along the railroad, and a canning factory was built to support the agricultural businesses throughout Gaithersburg. In the 19th century, Gaithersburg was proud of the intellectual accomplishments of its citizens. It aspired to be the social center of the county. These ambitions were accompanied by a strong moral and social idealism common to the period. It resulted in the founding of temperance groups, literary societies, fraternal organizations, agricultural organizations, and purely social interest groups. With settlement and incorporation, agriculture began to slow as the needs of the growing population changed. As the town grew, so did its population and the need for more housing. As Gaithersburg progressed in the 20th century, it was evident that the urbanism that followed the railroad was slowly making agriculture a distant memory in Gaithersburg's past. "1958 brought another change to the town. It had outgrown its small offices at the fire station and purchased an elegant house on Summit Avenue to be used as a civic center and town hall. Today, the renovated 1895 building is known as Gaithersburg City Hall. The economy was recovering from the Depression years. The Washington area had ample employment, and better roads eased commuting to jobs outside the city. The needs of the citizen now became too great for the mayor and council. The 1958 charter, based on the model, was the longest, 98 sections with further subdivisions. The charter provided for all sorts of licensing, regulations, and enforcement. It provided the right to establish, operate, and maintain a police force. The right to levy and collect taxes in the form of special assessments upon property was provided. As town population and interaction with other jurisdictions increased, the job of chief administrator became too demanding for a part-time mayor. Therefore, in 1962, the 1958 charter was amended to provide for appointment of a salaried town administrator or manager having executive capabilities to handle the day-to-day affairs of the mayor and council. After the council-manager form of government was instituted, programs became departmentalized as finance, planning, public works, licenses and inspections, parks and recreation, police, and general government. During the 1970s, when Gaithersburg was entering its era as a corridor city, the downtown business owners and city began a serious assessment of the future role of the Diamond and Summit commercial area. In 1981, the mayor and city council adopted a set of general guidelines and appointed a downtown review committee to oversee the revitalization project. The revitalization of buildings started in 1981, and on Sunday, September 26, 1982, Gaithersburg celebrated its first Old Town Day, a community festival to celebrate the revitalization and to foster appreciation for Gaithersburg's heritage. Old Town Gaithersburg was officially designated as one of the state's first Maryland Main Street communities. In 1995, the city started the second phase of the revitalization project with the charrette design project. The resulting blueprint for Old Town led to the designation of a central business district with flexible zoning and incentives to encourage investment and commerce in Old Town. Gaithersburg has undergone significant changes in recent years. The city is now an urban area and suburb of Washington, D.C. It has become a regional center for high-technology companies and a hub for biotechnology, while commercial agriculture is close to non-existent. The rolling fields of wheat are now roads, housing developments and commercial enterprises. But at the same time, a number of historic communities and traditions have been preserved. In the summer of 1997, tragedy befell Gaithersburg's most famous landmark, the great forest oak tree. The great tree was uprooted in a storm, closing the chapter on its nearly 300 years of life. It is a reminder to us that as Gaithersburg thrives in the new millennium and continues to grow, its rich, diverse history must not be forgotten.